Orleans with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frame. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Let's roll with this thing on a wide open Wednesday. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls, and that means he's fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. Mr. Breeze is right. It is New Orleans. This is New Orleans. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Got lots of topics, lots of questions for you. Even going to throw you a bone or two. I got to tighten up Mario Brothers' old lady. She took him to Commander's Palace for his friggin' birthday the other day. That's impressive, and it's hard to beat that. So I'm going to tighten her up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for taking care of my boy. My boy. For real. For real, Mario Brothers? What do you think? I'm just talking. You think I'm making up stuff on the air?
I mean, no, but hell yeah, I appreciate that.
Have you known me to lie, Mario Brothers?
No.
Yeah, lying's worthless.
We've definitely been there before for a couple of massage too, so we like
nice.
it.
You have?
Yeah, we like it there.
All right, cool. No, I'll send you one to your crib, and I'll send one to the girlfriend's crib.
Thank you, Corey.
That way y'all can both go together.
Muchas gracias.
Yes. De nada. 766-9480. You've earned it. 766-9480. That's Mario Brothers. You just heard his voice. He's not the best damn producer in radio for nothing. I love that line from Major League. He's not the best color guy for nothing. Dude just sits there and says nothing the whole time. And finally, at the end, he's swigging on the Jack Daniels bottle.
Yeah.
Anyway. Junket Cantrell. Her federal court arraignment date is set 3 weeks from today, Wednesday, September 10th. Yeah, Junket Cantrell, arraignment. They'll have a bond hearing, and we'll find out if the mayor's travel is restricted. Do you think the mayor could go on a junket before this arraignment that is 3 weeks away? I mean, that's 3 long weeks away. Now, one would think, my God, this mayor just got indicted. She's probably going to lay low. Like last week, the press conference where she was on the itinerary. She was on the, kind of what was going to go down at that, what is it? The New Orleans to Mobile train, the Mardi Gras Express, the Mardi Gras train. They were cutting the ribbon. She was on the itinerary. She was on the sheet. She was the third speaker, whatever. She was supposed to be there and did not show up. So does the mayor lay low? If you ask me to wager, will LaToya Cantrell go on a junket within the next 3 weeks or lay low until her arraignment date? I mean, common sense, like a normal person would lay low, but we're talking about lack of common sense and not a normal person, someone that's belligerent, someone that has some major problems, someone that probably drinks a little too much right now publicly with all those problems. And I'm not trying to make crap up. I've been out and I've seen the mayor Just lots of drinks. She likes to drink in the day, in the middle of the day. We'll go sit at a bar and have drinks in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. No, she's trying to drink her problems away. We all know how that goes. Get on alcohol, drugs, whatever. You get off of them. That hole that is your problem, all you did is drain the alcohol and the drugs out of it. The hole reappears, the hole that is your problem. You filled it with alcohol and drugs. In the meantime, the mayors try to fill that hole, and the hole is big, and there are many holes. No, I'm hoping that just because of the indictment itself, connection to Vappy, 14 trips, $70,000. I would hope at the arraignment 3 weeks from today that travel is restricted for Junket Cantrell, for crying out loud. Doesn't need to go on any more junkets. Yeah, speaking of Junket Cantrell, just keeps getting setback after setback after setback. The latest, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans has overturned a lower court's ruling. The ruling said the city council has to sign off on the Henry Consulting trash contract in the quarter. The council appealed that. The Fourth Circuit ruled in favor of the council. They do not have to sign off it. The Fourth Circuit says the city council does not have to sign off on the Henry Consulting contract. Ivy Waste will continue to pick up trash in the quarter through December. Maybe more importantly than that, the 7-year, $73 million deal with Henry Consulting is scuttled, essentially. It's basically over with. So in the next few months, I guess Junket Cantrell juggling criminal and civil lawsuits, civil and criminal cases. She will have to, they'll bid out the January 2026 trash contract and beyond. Or maybe they extend Ivy Waste and the mayor, this is so stupid, Corey, does the right thing and lets the next mayor pick the trash contractor. I doubt it. Anyway, Junket Cantrell keeps getting setback after setback. They're stacking up now. The latest, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals rules in favor of the city council against the mayor, against Henry Consulting. The council does not have to sign off on the Henry Consulting deal. So Ivy Waste continues through December. And maybe the bigger thing, Henry's 7-year, $73 million deal goes bye-bye. They'll rebid it. That looks like the latest and greatest. Speaking of the latest and greatest, speaking of the mayor, had some poll numbers we shared with you the other day. We'll do that again. If you were running for mayor, what would your platform look like? What would your platform look like? 766-9480. New Orleanians can participate in this. Folks in the metro area, in Jefferson, St. Bernard, St. Tammany. You know how I feel. It's all Metro New Orleans. So New Orleans is of vital importance to folks in St. Bernard, Jefferson, St. Tammany, the outlying parishes. If New Orleans does well, does great, those outlying parishes do great. If New Orleans suffers, it affects those outlying parishes. That's just how it works. You know, it's Metro New Orleans that's stagnant. Now you can go, Corey, St. Tammany's growing. It is. It's got a few folks that move to St. Tammany from out of state. Very, very few. St. Tammany is growing because South Shore residents are moving to the North Shore. That's what's funny about a lot of folks that, man, hate New Orleans, sick of New Orleans, don't like New Orleans. If that was my attitude, I'd be out of the state. I'd be out of the metro area. I hate New Orleans. I moved to Jefferson. No. You don't totally hate New Orleans. You're moving next door. So obviously you can say it and think it all you want, but consciously, unconsciously, in your brain, it is a fact. You still love New Orleans or like it a lot because you're not leaving the metro area. If you didn't like New Orleans sucks, I'm moving to Jefferson. New Orleans sucks, I'm moving to the North Shore. If I thought New Orleans sucked, I'd be out of the metro. Why would I stay in the suburbs or exurbs of New Orleans? Jefferson, St. Bernard. That's Metro New Orleans. North Shore, Metro New Orleans. It's all New Orleans. Now, I wouldn't even go like, I'm moving on to New Orleans, I'm going to base St. Louis. You're still in New Orleans. You're in denial. Like, I've left New Orleans, I moved to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. If you hated New Orleans, you would leave and go far away. You still like it. People blow me away. I mean, adults hate New Orleans. Dude, you live in Metairie. Hate New Orleans. You live in Kenner. Hate New Orleans. You live on the North Shore. Hate New Orleans. You moved to Slidell. Hate New Orleans. You live in Diamond Head. You live in Waveland. You live in Pass Christian. You're in New Orleans all the time. Hate New Orleans. What were you doing at the Sanger the other night of the show with the wife? Hate New Orleans. I love it. Then go to, San Diego or Denver or Seattle if you hate New Orleans so much. 766-9480. If you are running for mayor, what would your platform look like? Now, we know the big four. These apply to any city, anywhere. Economy, education, infrastructure, crime. That's anywhere USA. But then, you got unique things to different places. Boy, like trimming fat in city government. You know how many different agencies, entities there are in New Orleans city government? I think when I had Bob Sarasoli, the old IG on years ago, he said there were like 144 quasi-governmental entities. Some of them have taxing power, can float bonds. Now, the city of New Orleans is just a big dysfunctional mess. It's time to trim a lot of that fat. Of course, you bring in the best and the brightest from around the country, around the world to help solve these New Orleans problems. Now, I'm an independent, so this would be easy for me. My staff would probably be 50% Democrat, 50% Republican, or a third Republican, a third Democrat, and a third independent, or a third libertarian, a third other. Wouldn't be a problem for me. But boy, Helena Moreno, Royce Duplessis, that's pretty much it. Maybe Oliver Thomas. You need some conservative voices, like at least 25%, because there are none in New Orleans. And we're not going to solve the problem with strictly Democrat, liberal, and really loony liberal stuff. It hasn't worked. Got to get some Republican conservative voices in there just to balance things out. 766-9480. What's your platform?
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
Total maintenance, keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
It's a scorcher out there. Stay hydrated. No, it is ridiculously hot out there. So stay hydrated. Lots of water. Ideally, stay in air conditioning. Stay inside. Animals chained up in your neighbor's yard all day, every day. Call 911. Call the authorities. It's against the law. Can't have an animal chained up all day long. It's against the law. And an animal left in like a backyard without proper water, shade, against the law. An animal, a dog's not an alarm system. I don't understand people. It's a living creature. And besides animals, even more importantly, human beings, elderly folks with health issues that don't have air conditioning, that don't live in air conditioning. Man, get over there at 9, 10 a.m. in the morning, pick those folks up. Bring them grocery shopping. Take them to Lakeside Mall. Just go sit in a bench, read a book at Lakeside. You're inside the AC. Go to a New Orleans public library, a community center where there is air conditioning. Because we're still in August and it's still brutal out there and you got to be careful. Junket Cantrell, her federal court arraignment date is set 3 weeks from today, September 10th on a Wednesday. Hopefully that judge restricts her travel. We had last week when all this was going on, I had Craig Mordock on. He's CJ Mordock on Twitter, former New Orleans assistant DA, now a defense attorney. He was kind of implying like the travel thing is mandatory. And I was kind of insinuating that I think it's a case-to-case thing. When I kind of searched that, I was getting both. It's mandatory and it depends on the case. So I hope it's mandatory. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Mordock's right. But I believe that the because she's mayor and in a legitimate world, a mayor might have to travel. So I don't know how the federal court's going to rule on this. But considering it's VAPI as part of the indictment and the 14 trips and $70,000 in taxpayer money, I mean, she's Junket Cantrell. Travel should be restricted. I'm not out to beat up or bludgeon the mayor. She's an idiot. She's doing it all to herself. But I just want justice, what's right. And this mayor abusing the system for years and years, 6, 7 years now, just Junket Cantrell. It's obnoxious. A broken, dysfunctional city like New Orleans, and she's traveling like we're kicking butt and taking names, and she's bringing in business from all these trips. Not a single job, not a single dollar. She doesn't even fake it. She don't even come back and make up stuff like I went and visited this company or even set up a visit with the company when she goes on these trips, which would be easy. She's mayor of New Orleans. It'd be easy to get in front of somebody from a company and visit with them. She don't even do that. Doesn't even fake it. Just goes on her junket. 766-9480. Junket Cantrell's federal court arraignment date is 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks. Do you think she will go on another junket within the next 3 weeks or lay low? The latter is the obvious answer, but with this belligerent mayor, you have no idea. I mean, I think it's like a 60-40. She'll go somewhere. A better chance than not, she will go on a junket within the next 3 weeks. 766-9480. What's your take? Laying low, or you think the mayor's going to go on a junket within the next 3 weeks before her arraignment date on September 10th? 766-9480. I wouldn't bet against it. Yeah, Mayor Junket Cantrell, just setback after setback. The federal indictment. Now she's asking the civil court to pause that case. AG Liz Morrell sending a letter to her demanding the city give back all the traffic camera school zone money they've collected in the last year. No, it's just setback after setback. The latest, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans has overturned a lower court ruling. The ruling said the city council has to sign off on the Henry Consulting trash contract. The Fourth Circuit says no, they don't. IV Waste will continue cleaning the quarter through December. And Henry Consulting's 7-year, $73 million deal is done. It's scuttled. It's not going to happen. Hey, I asked the question. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. If you were running for mayor of New Orleans, what would your platform be? And I'm not saying shy away from the big four, embrace the big four. Economy, my God. There are no young people that graduate from college moving to New Orleans. None. Places like Birmingham, Alabama have college graduates moving there, not in New Orleans. No, we have to work on the economy. It has to be a place where, you know, we have the old Las Vegas moniker now in New Orleans. The old Vegas moniker used to be like, not publicly, not them saying it, just everyone knew it. Great place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. They've grown. They've doubled in size. They've got north of 2 million in the metro area in Vegas. New Orleans is the new home. They've embraced that moniker. People are saying, love New Orleans. Great place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. Like too dysfunctional for me. How about you want to hear a weird kind of platform for me? And this is a minor one. I mean, I shouldn't say this one now because this is like the last one on the priority list. But street signs and striping streets, regardless of their condition. If you turn onto St. Charles Avenue in Poydras heading towards Tivoli Circle, Old Lee Circle, there's not a stripe down the street on St. Charles Avenue in front of Gallier Hall, Lafayette Square. I mean, someone from out of town, is it a 1 lane? Is it 2 lane? Can I park on the side? I mean, there's no striping at all. It's St. Charles Avenue in between Poydras and Lee Circle, Tivoli Circle. Are you kidding me? Stripe every street regardless of its condition. And boy, uptown streets, Lakeview streets that you fill the potholes, but they've, it's potholes filled on top of potholes filled. Get the scraper out and scrape the top, inch or two off of that. At least, I'd rather the scrape than just a Mars landscape. I mean, you filled all these potholes. They're all uneven. Blacktop sticking an inch up. Better than a pothole, I guess, but still, it's cars just bouncing around. Come over with that scraper. I never see the scraper unless they're redoing a street. I mean, River Road in New Orleans, all those like little pinched lips, where the seam is, where the road kind of pinches up and it's on your car. Scrape that. Knock that off. The S turns on Wisner. Scrape those little things where they're lipped up. Put some, asphalt in the crack. Now, that's a minor one on my part, but those are things that change the city. Like, it just makes us normal. It makes us normal. It's like the old I-10 in New Orleans East when they redid that about 5 years ago. No one driving in from out of town said, damn, this interstate's so smooth. That's what's expected. But when it's crappy and bumpy, it's a negative. It's a negative. So no, you don't get any credit for fixing the interstate in the east, but it gets you to normal. So no, I'm not getting credit for striping streets, putting up street signs, and getting that scraper out and scraping little bumps and lips everywhere to at least make the streets a little smoother. No, I'm not going to sit there and say that's like revolutionary. What a great mayoral platform item. But it's one of mine on the minor side. New Orleans City Hall in Central City. A small, compact city hall that's designed for 2040. Technology, less people, less agencies, less departments, less employees. A streamlined, state-of-the-art city hall in Central City. We need a new city hall. We need a modern city hall. We need one that's streamlined. We need to get rid of a bunch of agencies. We need to let go of a bunch of city employees. And we need a leg up for Central City. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. It's overdue, a new city hall. Much smaller than the existing one. And boy, Central City's the perfect location. It's next door to downtown. It's 6-8 blocks away from the existing city hall. I'm not saying put it in Algiers, Federal City. I'm not saying put it out in New Orleans East. All those places need a leg up. But you have to be practical about it. City Hall needs to be near downtown, if not in downtown. If you can put it right next door to downtown where it's 2 minutes from the old City Hall and it's in Central City, boosting in that area, that's a big plus. These are innovative, forward-thinking ideas that you don't hear from any of the mayoral candidates. Trash, litter. My God, I've been pounding this like no other New Orleanian for decades. I used to do sports talk and talk about this. It's like one of the big, copy points of this program. New Orleans is the filthiest, at the very best, one of the filthiest cities in America. Let's not only clean it up, let's have the goal to be one of the cleanest cities in America. You ever go to Chicago, New York? They're pretty clean. San Francisco, LA, Denver, Seattle. They're pretty clean. New Orleans is filthy. And the problem? You. No, not you. The guy behind you in the red sweater. That dude. He's littering all the time. Black, white, young, old, Republican, Democrat. Public school kids, private school kids. I see little girls in like the private school skirt uniform. They're dropping litter and trash on the ground. Cellophane wrappers from the cigarette smokers. Cigarette smokers are the worst. Bunch of friggin' animals. Man, everyone drops the cigarette butt. I'm going to do it. It's like the old, your friends are jumping off the bridge. You're going to jump off the bridge with them? Now, I got a buddy who smokes. He has a little water bottle with like an inch of water, and he sticks the butts in there when he's done. Steps on the ground, puts them out, and then throws them in a garbage can, knowing that it's totally out. No, cigarette smokers are the biggest litterers around. It's pathetic. And you justify it like it's only a cigarette butt, it's very small, all this. The number one trash item in America, cigarette butts. No, you cigarette smokers need to be slapped around. I don't give a crap that you smoke. That's your problem. But don't throw your butts out on the street. Put them in an ashtray. Yeah, we need to go from the filthiest city in America to one of the cleanest. And we can do it. Coming right back.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what,
It all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and
you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. Hey, Marigny, Bywater, Treme, French Quarter, CBD, Warehouse District, Garden District, Irish Channel. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. Mario Brothers, you were just mentioning like signs in sporting events. You know, the greatest sign of all time in any sporting event happens to be at the high school level. And I don't, get any joy out of telling you this because it's, it's a Jesuit sign.
Okay.
So De La Salle, when I was at De La Salle, we're playing Jesuit. Jesuit just wins every year. De La Salle couldn't beat Jesuit. I think it was like my junior year, we beat Jesuit. And Brother Richard, who was just a lunatic, just go to Las Vegas, drink, gamble, smoke so much cigarettes that his mustache and beard was just laced with nicotine.
A brother. Okay.
A brother.
Got you.
No, brother, he ran De La Salle.
Okay.
It's insane. The guy was a lunatic, a nut. And seriously, and he's a brother. Yeah, I'm not, people say, oh, I'm disrespecting. I'm Catholic. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic boy. I believe in Jesus. I'm just telling you the truth. Brother Richard at De La Salle was out of his mind. Going to Vegas, eating at Commander's Palace. He's just a nut, So anyway, we beat Jesuit on a Friday night, like at Pan Am Stadium. Brother Richard just, I think, at the game, and then it just, reverberated throughout the De La Salle community. School's canceled on Monday. We don't. You're off on Monday. We beat Jesuit. Holiday, literally.
Wow.
There was no school on Monday.
That's awesome.
No, that's insane. That's insane. Mario Brother, that's awesome.
I think it's awesome.
So the next year we're playing De La Salle. Jesuit. It's my senior year. The 4-foot roll that the high schools use, the big 4-foot roll can be as long as they want. They put the sign on it, and it runs along the fence, go Blue Jays, go Cavaliers, whatever. All the signs said it's like 30 feet long. De La Salle, you will have school on Monday. I was like, damn.
That's pretty
cool. Ooh, well, I swallowed hard on that one. That's as good a sign as you can get.
That probably motivated that Jesuit team to be.
Yep. When I was at LSU, You remember, the Deke House at LSU. It's like Animal House type stuff.
Yes.
Like literally, like the Animal House movie probably had a lot to do with like Deke houses in like LSU, Tulane, Alabama, all around the country. Dekes are a bunch of lunatics. There was some like MS parade or, something like, and all the sororities and fraternities had these signs up, and even the like chicken wire stuff, with the tissue paper. Tri-Delt and MS together will find a cure, those kind of things. The Deke House has a sheet hanging with tennis shoes holding the sheet down in the corners and spray paint on the sheet. One sheet says, "If it weren't for the handicap, where would we park?" And the other sign says, "Hire the handicap, they're fun to watch." That was hanging from the Deke House. I mean, it's just like, 911, can you get over there and clear those signs quickly? No, just a bunch of lunatics.
That's terrible.
No, I mean, I remember like walking up to the Deke House with like a date, and someone would throw a television set out the second floor window, like a whole TV, like back, with the back on a flat screen,
Big ones.
a big one, the old school, and just smash like 10 feet in front of you. The girl's running in the opposite direction. I mean, just running women away, man.
What a time.
No, crazy.
College.
Like Animal House. Yeah, college, LSU. Insane. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the program, huh? De La Salle, you will have school on Monday. I was like, wow, I swallowed hard on that one.
Great sign. Great sign.
It was. A federal judge blocks Texas schools from enforcing or implementing the 10 Commandments law. Yeah, Texas, like Louisiana, passed a dopey, unconstitutional, un-American 10 Commandments law. For you folks that are like, oh, I like it, then why not like the 7 tenets of Buddhism? Put those up on the wall. They're all positive, good things. There's nothing negative about it. I'm sure Muslims, and we could have some Allah and some of, the positives that religion pushes. Judaism, every religion, they've got a lot of moral and ethical positives. See, that's how America works. Slidell, they put a Jesus Christ photo up on the courthouse wall. To me, that just yells like, I'm in good shape. I'm a Jesus Christ guy. So, but boy, feel bad for the non-believer guy, feel bad for the Jewish guy, the Muslim, the Buddhist, whatever, anyone who's not Christian. So somebody complained and a judge ruled, take it down, or everybody gets their photo up there. And I think Slidell was stubborn. And they left the Jesus Christ photo up now. And I believe there's like 30, 40, 100 photos around it, all kind of stuff, like your son graduating from high school photo, and then all religious stuff and all kind of stuff. No, it's everybody or none. That's the great thing about America. Louisiana, some senator 10, 15 years ago wanted to have a 10 Commandments monument on the lawn, public property. 10 Commandments, it's all good. That's me. I like the 10 Commandments, especially like 3 through 10. The first 3 are a little, I don't think my God or Jesus is concerned about. Don't, worship other gods. I mean, it's sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe in Jesus, you're not going to be worshiping other gods. Anyway, so yeah, the ego ones I'm not so into, but the like 3 through 10, I'm all for them. But you get folks like, this is what's crazy about it. You didn't get like Southern Baptists wanting a monument, or the Jewish folks wanting a monument, or Buddhists or whatever. You know what you got? 2 folks wanted to put their monument next to the 10 Commandments monument in Baton Rouge. I'm not making this up. The Spaghetti Monster religion, which is a fake religion. They're just making fun of religion, and they came up with it. So when people do this stuff, like they want to put a 10 Commandments monument on the lawn by the Capitol in Louisiana, great. We're all for it. We want our Spaghetti Monster religion monument right next to it. And then out of either South or North Carolina, you got these devil worshipers. They even sent a rendering of the monument they want to put up. It's a throne with the devil sitting on it, clearly the devil. And on the devil's lap are 2 innocent-looking children, a boy and a girl, and the devil's reading a book to them, like telling them how it is. So you'd have the 10 Commandments monument, you'd have the Spaghetti Monster, and then you'd have the devil. And obviously, this legislation went away. People are realizing it's America. You have the freedom to, religion. I own a gun. I'm Christian and I believe in Jesus. Not for a millisecond am I ever worried about crazy liberals taking away my religious freedom or my right to religious freedom or my gun. I've never, ever worried about that for a second. Talk about a political farce, political nonsense. Guns are easy to get, especially in Louisiana. Easier to get a gun than a driver's license. So no problem with the guns getting taken away. And when has anyone told you what you can do as far as religion? Putting your religion on a public school wall? That's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand how Americans that are like me, that believe in Jesus, that are Christians, don't see how crazy that is, how it's unconstitutional, how it's un-American. Separation of church and state. It's simple. It's basic. And then this BS and nonsense. It's what America's built on. It's a historic document like the Declaration of Independence. No, it's not. No, it's not. 766-9480. If you disagree, dial us up. We don't cut you off because we disagree. 766-9480. Better radio is for people calling and disagreeing with me than calling and going, love the show, great job, I agree with you. 766-9480. A healthy debate is exactly that, healthy. A federal judge blocks Texas schools from enforcing or implementing the 10 Commandments law, just like Louisiana. It's unconstitutional. It's un-American. It's pretty simple, right? And I'm a Christian. Jesus is my God. I believe in the 10 Commandments. That's a moral code I live by based off those 10 Commandments, especially like 3 through 10, 4 through 10. 766-9480. 766-9480. The Sewage and Water Board's $300 million power substation still offline. Still offline. Energy says they're ready to throw the switch when the Sewage and Water Board gets their you-know-what together. Basically, it's these converters. They're not called converters. I forget the name. I should know the name. I've said them a gazillion times, just going blank. Where it's taking the 60 hertz power and converting it to 25 hertz to run these 25 hertz old school pumps. We still have pumps running on electricity from 100 years ago in New Orleans. 766-9480 is the phone number. Mayor Junket Cantrell keeps getting setback after setback. The latest, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. You folks in the quarter are going to like this, residents and businesses. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans has overturned a lower court ruling. The ruling said the city council has to sign off on the Henry Consulting contract. The Fourth Circuit says, no, they don't. IV Waste will continue cleaning the French Quarter through December. And Henry Consulting's 7-year, $73 million deal is essentially dead. This is the way it should have been. I've been saying this since day one. IV Waste goes through December, and in the fall, like in the next few weeks, the city puts out to bid January of 2026 and beyond, trash contract for the quarter and CBD. That's exactly how it's going to go down. Just had to go through the court system to get to that. Should have never been that way. But, you know, when you have a belligerent mayor who now is indicted, that kind of happens. Speaking of the mayor indicted, Junket Cantrell's federal court arraignment date is set 3 weeks from today, Wednesday, February 10th. Hopefully the judges, the court rules in the right responsible way, especially for what Junket Cantrell was indicted for. No, they restrict her travel. Will Junket Cantrell go on yet another trip before the 3-week arraignment date, 3 weeks from today? She got indicted last Friday. She's getting arraigned 3 weeks from today. Do you think she will go on a junket? If you ask me, you put my arm on a chopping block. Corey, you're going to have to predict the future. If you're wrong, we're chopping your arm off. I would say she will go on some out-of-state trip, maybe even out of the country, but definitely out of state within the next 3 weeks. If I had to bet, if I were a betting man, my arm were on a chopping block, I could lose it. Staying or going, I'd say she's going to stay. I'd say she's going to go on another junket. Hey, I'm looking for, if you were running for mayor, what would your platform be? 766-9480. What needs fixing in New Orleans? Holla.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Hey, Marigny, Bywater, Treme, French Quarter, CBD, Warehouse District, Garden District, Irish Channel. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
766-9480. 766-9480. Yeah, if I were running for mayor, I won the mayoral election, I'd definitely bring in the best and the brightest from around the country, no doubt. And I'd be focusing on the big 4 that apply to any city in America: economy, education, infrastructure, and crime. But I would build a new city hall in Central City. I'd make New Orleans the cleanest city in America. That would be the goal. No litter, no trash, no graffiti, no weeds. You know, we are the population center in Louisiana when it comes to coastal erosion and who can be most adversely affected. It's New Orleans. I mean, we have a governor right now while running for office, and while he's governor, has never, ever, ever mentioned coastal erosion, Louisiana's vanishing coast. We have to have a sense of urgency. Never. While running for office and while in office. As a matter of fact, the opposite. Jeff Landry canceled the $3 billion Mid-Barataria sediment diversion project, the largest diversion project in the history of the state. No, as running for mayor of New Orleans or becoming mayor, coastal erosion, Louisiana's vanishing coast would be one of my priorities because we're the population center. And another thing, I would be getting with the other 9 parishes that make up Metro New Orleans every quarter. We're going to meet in New Orleans. We're going to meet in Metairie. We're going to meet in St. Bernard. We're going to meet on the North Shore. We're going to meet in St. Charles Parish, whatever. Every 3 months, everybody's going to meet, all the mayors, parish presidents. So we move the metro area forward. They would all be on board on this coastal erosion problem. And it would force the state and the governor to take it more seriously. Speaking of that, I mean, we always dog the Sewage and Water Board. The pumps don't work, blah, blah, blah. New Orleans is flooding. I know some Jefferson Parish folks, St. Bernard, St. Tammany, they'll get a chuckle out of it even, which is mind-blowing to me, why you'd laugh at your neighbor. But when we get a heavy rain, when too much rain comes down, St. Bernard, Jefferson, the North Shore have discovered, especially lately, wow, we flood too. We can't pump our way out of this. This engineering and architectural firm called Wagoner and Ball, you can Google them. They put New Orleans water plan, Wagoner and Ball, Google that, and it'll pull up an incredible plan that was developed a decade ago for New Orleans, over a decade ago. And the artist renderings of areas that you know and recognize, but that have retention ponds and water features added to that area are gorgeous. It not only will lure people to those areas, it'll lure businesses to those areas, it'll be an economic driver, and it mitigates flooding. I've mentioned this line before, and it would be part of my mayoral administration. We be digging. We be digging small holes for trees. New Orleans has an 18% tree canopy. Memphis has 40%. Atlanta has nearly 50%. We're under 20%. We've lost 1/3 of our trees in the last 20 years. Trees are huge flood mitigators. A tree, an oak tree, absorbs hundreds of gallons of water when it rains. Hundreds. A cypress tree, hundreds of gallons. A mature cypress tree, hundreds of gallons of water. So trees are flood mitigators. We be digging small holes. I'd be planting trees 24/7, 365 in every damn spot where a tree could go anywhere in New Orleans, including the French Quarter, everywhere. CBD, everywhere. Trees everywhere. And then we be digging big holes. Retention ponds, water features all over the city. No, it's nauseating. You look at this Wagoner and Ball, this engineer architectural firm, and their master water plan for New Orleans. It's beautiful. It's something we should be doing. It's billions of dollars. We should be billions of dollars into it. Scalise, Kennedy, our national reps, Cassidy, they should be getting us the money from the feds because the feds save money. You spend a few billion doing retention ponds and water features in New Orleans, you save tens of billions when a hurricane hits again, and it's inevitable it will. Camille, Betsy, Katrina, Ida, whatever. Another storm's coming. Hopefully not this season. Hopefully not next decade, but another storm's coming. The feds, with reasonable discussion and argument, pay a little now or pay a lot more later, because inevitably New Orleans will get crushed again. We build these retention ponds, these water features. We plant a bunch of trees. We mitigate flooding. We save money in the long run, billions of dollars in the long run. No, we be digging. That would be one of my major mayoral platform retention ponds and planting trees. Have you heard any mayoral candidate mention retention ponds, water features, or planting trees? Do any of them know we have an 18% tree canopy? Memphis nearly 40%, Atlanta nearly 50%. We're in the top of the subtropic zone. We're in a marsh and a wetland. New Orleans should be the greenest city in America by default. Lush trees everywhere. Would you see it like City Park? That should be all over the city. Would you see in uptown New Orleans? All over the city. Go drive an I-10 out in the east. Hard to find a tree. Look to your left, look to your right on I-10 in the east. Hard to find a tree. That spindly little palm tree doesn't count. Talking about a shade tree that absorbs water. Hard to find them in New Orleans East. It's crazy. New City Hall in Central City. Trash and litter. Make us the cleanest city, not the filthiest. Street signs, striping. Get the scraper out. Retention ponds, water features, planting trees. We be digging. Focusing on coastal erosion because we're so adversely affected by it. And then you can get into some fantasy projects like Interstate Loop, giving the Port of New Orleans whatever they ask for. Every dollar invested in the Port of New Orleans, we get 5 back. Should just be pouring money into the port. 5 o'clock powwow. If you are running for mayor, what would your platform look like? Phone number to dial us up, 766-9480. The hits keep on coming. The setbacks keep coming for Mayor LaToya Cantrell. Old Junket Cantrell. I'll fill you in when we come back on her arraignment date that's been set. Hopefully travel will be restricted. And also the Fourth Circuit has ruled on the French Quarter trash contract. Fill you in on that and a whole lot more. 5 o'clock powwow now.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters.
And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets. In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. And supply.
Mr. Drew Brees, number 9 is correct. It is, in fact, New Orleans, Louisiana. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way. Corey Johnson with you. The 5 o'clock powwow hour this afternoon brought to you by Gallagher's 527 restaurant in Mandeville. Have you been to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville? It's one of the finest dining experiences in Metro New Orleans. North Shore folks already know about Gallagher's 527. I discovered it about a year ago. You know, when you get older, you don't send pictures of women to your friends. You send pictures of food you're about to eat. Food porn all the time. My buddies and I are be at a restaurant. Like, dude, where is that? Incredible. Oh, I'm at Clancy's. It's the Speckled Trout. Wow, wonderful. I'm at Brightson's. Look how rich the gumbo is. Gonna be a video of like just the gumbo getting stirred around with a spoon, stuff like that. So a buddy of mine one day, like it's around lunch, I get this text and it says nothing. It's just an oval plate with 4 lamb chops. And I could tell it's a photo, but I could tell they were sizzling in butter. Right away, I'm like, Jesus, where is that? And he goes, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Within 3 or 4 days, I was at Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville having those lamb chops. Literally. The picture was incredible. I was like, I got it. Where is that? I got to try that. Double cut lamb chops, sizzling in butter. Fantastic. And then about 3 weeks later, I'm playing golf. Got invited over to Beauchene in Mandeville. Beauchene, the 2 great golf courses, that gated community in Mandeville. When we finished golf, we went and had lunch at Gallagher's 527 for lunch, sat at the bar. That's when I discovered the gumbo, which is fantastic. As good a gumbo as anywhere. Am I going to say the best gumbo in New Orleans? No, because there's probably 3 or 4 places that have the best gumbo in New Orleans, but it is as good as any gumbo you will eat anywhere. It's that good. You'll want to order it, at least a cup like I do for lunch. And then Warren LaRuth's original recipe, the crab meat St. Francis. You got to love Pat Gallagher. He could have come up with his own crab meat recipe and it would have been fantastic because Pat Gallagher is a very accomplished chef for 50 years. Instead, he's like, Warren LaRuth's crab meat St. Francis is fantastic. He knows Warren LaRuth's kid, his son, I guess Larry. I think Lee had passed away, Larry LaRuth, and verified, got the original recipe. And Like Pat Gallagher says, the crab meets the star, just chock full of big chunks of jumbo lump crab meat. And it's not an au gratin. It's no cheese. It's just full of seasonings, a little cream. It's fantastic. It is maybe the single best crab meat appetizer dish anywhere. So I get the gumbo to start. I get the crab meat St. Francis appetizer. And then at lunch, I get the shish kebab, which is 4 big chunks of tenderloin with bell peppers and white onions, sizzling in butter in an oval plate with a big pile of green beans. And they're fantastic in that butter. Yeah, go get that Corey Johnson trifecta for lunch at Gallagher's 527, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Start with the cup of gumbo, crab meat St. Francis appetizer, shish kebab, sizzling in butter on the plate. What a great lunch. Lunch Tuesday through Friday, dinner Tuesday through Saturday. That means dinner going on right now. South Shore folks, have you been to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville yet? Get over there. Trust me, it'll be one of the best meals you ever eat, and you'll be just like me. You'll be a regular there. You'll be there every 2 or 3 weeks. It's an easy drive across the lake. I enjoy it. Zone out, make some phone calls. If I'm with friends or family, a date, I get to converse with them. It's great. Get over there for lunch or dinner this week. Gallagher's 527. It's that good. Wide Open Wednesday. By the way, 5 o'clock powwow brought to you by Gallagher's 527 on this Wide Open Wednesday. Junket Cantrell, her federal court arraignment date is set 3 weeks from today. The big thing for me, I hope the court rules properly on this, restricting her travel. Can't leave the Eastern District of Louisiana without permission. There's no reason to grant her travel. She's the mayor. She has to travel. She's the mayor. She has to travel. Send in a request to the court and we'll approve it or not. Because all of her travel so far benefits her only. They're all about her. It has nothing to do with the city of New Orleans. Not one trip benefits us, the citizens of New Orleans. None. A dollar hadn't come in from any of these trips. Not a single human being hired. Not one. It's a joke. It's by definition a junket, a taxpayer finance trip for the mayor. Let's curtail this. I mean, the whole gist of the damn indictment is Vappy and all the travel. I mean, if the arraignment 3 weeks from today allows the mayor to travel, I'll be blown away. You know, the argument is she's the mayor. Sometimes they have to travel. Then apply for each specific incident and the court will approve it or not. No, justice is travel restrictions for Mayor Junket Cantrell because she's such a travel freak. Mayor Junket Cantrell just keeps getting setback after setback. The latest, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans has overturned a lower court ruling. The lower court ruling said the city council has to sign off on the Henry Consulting trash contract. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals said, no, they don't. They don't have to sign off on it. Ivy Waste will continue cleaning the French Quarter and CBD through December. Also, Henry Consulting's 7-year, $73 million deal from Mayor LaToya Cantrell is history. It's gone. 99% gone. Troy Henry can appeal to the Louisiana Supreme Court. Don't know if he will or not. And there's a case right now, Charles Rice is suing, saying the council is overreaching. And he lost like a $70,000 contract. He says it's not for the contract, it's for future folks. Whatever. I have no problem with the council having to approve any expenditure over $1 million. I mean, hell, I don't know why it's zero, but not zero. I mean, the mayor could just green light things up to $1 million annually. That seems kind of crazy. But anything over $1 million in annual contract, yeah. You want another watchdog, not just the mayor's word. You want the council having to vote and approve that. Yeah, setback after setback for the mayor. It doesn't stop. Liz Merle, the AG, sent a letter to the mayor demanding all proceeds, money collected in the last year from school zone traffic cameras, be refunded to those that paid those tickets. I mean, it's no good news for Junket Cantrell. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Her arraignment date is 3 weeks from today. Do you think Junket Cantrell, after getting indicted last Friday, her arraignment date 3 weeks from today, will go on a junket, will go on another trip before the arraignment date? Obviously, any normal person would not. They would lay low. This isn't a normal person. And I'm not a betting man, but if you forced me to make a pick, will LaToya Junket Cantrell go on another junket, some type of out-of-state, even maybe out-of-the-country trip before her arraignment in 3 weeks on her federal indictment? I would say yes. I would say yes, just because she simply does not give a crap. Middle finger to all citizens of New Orleans over and over and over again. Hey, if you were running for mayor, what would your platform look like? 766-9480. 766-9480. The Sewage and Water Board's $300 million power substation, still offline, was supposed to be going last month, then a couple of weeks ago, then this week for sure, still testing equipment. So Entergy says they're ready to go. This is all on the Sewage and Water Board. Hopefully we'll get with Steve Nelson from the Sewage and Water Board tomorrow and get some answers. A federal judge blocks Texas schools from enforcing or implementing the 10 Commandments law in Texas. Similar to law in Louisiana, just kooky and crazy. And I'm a Jesus-believing Christian. I'm a Catholic New Orleans boy. Jesus is my guy. The 10 Commandments, one of my moral compasses that I grew up on. I have nothing against Jesus or the 10 Commandments or Christianity. The opposite. I'm all for it. Just not in public school classrooms. Utterly ridiculous. This is such crappy politics. And I don't know, you people eat it up because in Louisiana, the ignorance is high. We love believing what we want to believe, what we hope is true, not where the facts lead us. The 10 Commandments in any public school classroom is unconstitutional. It's un-American. Separation of church and state. And that's from someone that believes in the 10 Commandments, is a Jesus person, a Christian, a Catholic in New Orleans. No, it's silly. Silly. 766-9480. The federal judge ruled correctly. Unless you want, the 7 tenets of Buddhism, Allah and some Quran stuff, Judaism. I mean, they all got great positive moralistic things. Just like the 10 Commandments. All religions have these positive codes. You want all those up there or none? I'll go with none.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce. the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog shit.
Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock powwow. We're rolling along on a wide open Wednesday. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. If you were running for mayor, what would your platform look like? Pretty simple. Wow, Mario Brothers, look at that.
That looks like the monitor.
You think?
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Hold up.
Crazy. That's straight now. Thing was blinking on us, huh?
Weird. Having a seizure.
I think you spilling that 5th of Jack Daniels into the console did not help.
That might do it, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. What would your mayoral platform look like? Or if, you know, I'm not running for mayor, Corey. What would you want Helena Moreno, Royce Duplessis, Oliver Thomas, what would you want them pushing as their platform? Now, economy, education, infrastructure, crime, those are easy. Those apply to any city in America. I'll never forget, a New Orleans delegation went to Chicago like 25 years ago, politicians and business leaders. They went and saw then Mayor Daley. And Mayor Daley said, it doesn't matter what city you're in, anywhere in America, 3 things you got to focus on. He's like, 1, make your education system as good as it can be. 2, make sure your city's clean. 3, make sure you have a state-of-the-art airport, because that's the first impression. So education, clean city, airport. We were 0 for 3. This was 25 years ago, pre-Katrina, like around 2000. Education system was corrupt, inept. One of the worst in America, if not the worst in America. Pathetic. Orleans Parish Public Schools were a friggin' joke, a sinful joke. So 0 for 1. Clean city. We're one of the filthiest cities in America. Clearly, 0 for 2. State-of-the-art airport. We had the old Louis Armstrong International, like flying into LaGuardia. Crap. 0 for 3. We were 0 for 3. Now, 25 years later, we're about 1.5 for 3. We got a state-of-the-art airport. We're 1 for 1 on that. We've made major strides in public education. Long way to go, but we're actually educating kids. Before, we weren't even educating. It was a joke. Long way to go. I'm not saying we've solved our education problem. No, we haven't. Mediocre public schools, there should be great. So I'll give that a half, from 0 to getting there. And then as far as clean city, we're still where we were 25 years ago. Absolutely filthy. So we're not 0 for 3, but we're about 1.5 for 3. Should be 3 for 3. Got the state-of-the-art airport. Let's clean up the city. Let's educate the kids. It's pretty simple. Now, I got the big four that, similar to the Chicago, these apply to any city. Economy, education, infrastructure, and crime. Got to have a economy that, brings people in, college graduates wanting to move here. I mean, most cities in America, you have college graduates going to those cities to live and work. New Orleans doesn't have that. Like zero, none. Only locals that come back, but not outsiders. Need to have outsiders. Education, got to focus on making education a priority. Like that's what pisses me off so much about LSU. I love LSU. It's where I went to school. Class of 91. It's my school. I graduated from there. You didn't go there. You're just a fan. I'm just telling you the truth. It's like I went to De La Salle. You're a fan of De La Salle. You didn't go there. You're just a fan. Corey, De La Salle to LSU, it's a big difference. LSU is like my pro sports team. I don't care what it is. It's my school. You didn't go there. It's my school. Education isn't a priority at LSU in Baton Rouge at all. Athletics are. Athletics are as good as it gets. The facilities are all state-of-the-art. About to get a $400 million arena for basketball. It'll be nicer than the Smoothie King Center where the Pelicans play. It's going to be state-of-the-art, badass. Got a great state-of-the-art baseball stadium, have one of the best football stadiums in the world, best fans, got great coaches, great athletes, great fan support, great facilities. LSU athletics are as good as anywhere in America. The facilities, the fans, the results, the coaches, the players, the championships, as good as anywhere. Academics, a total afterthought. No one even gives a crap about LSU academics. It's okay. We do pretty good. It's better than you think, Corey. Not worried about it. If athletics were like academics, people would be crapping in their depends. They'd be freaking out. They'd be losing their you-know-what. But academics, doesn't matter. No one gives a crap. So yeah, economy, education, these are just important things. Infrastructure. My God, New Orleans' infrastructure, it's mind-blowing. Still fixing roads from Katrina. I mean, any other city would have got this done in like 3, 5, 7 years. All the money spent, all the roads built. Not here. And what's worse is the money's from yesterday. So as costs go up, all we're doing is fixing less roads because it's more expensive. It's like the municipal auditorium. 20 years ago, we got about $42 million to redo the municipal auditorium. Could have done it 20 years ago for $42 million. Today, we're using the $42 million to secure the roof and mothball the building because it's going to take a few $100 million to redo the thing. No, time passes and we blew it, Still working on roads. I mean, it's and not a lot of work going on. It's kind of like the bubble on Claiborne with Tulane. Instead of ants on a sugar cube, I drive by there today. I drive by there last week. I don't see anybody working on anything. Tulane athletics, no sense of urgency. LSU academics, no sense of urgency. It's just how it is. Economy, education, infrastructure, crime. Doing a great job on tapping down crime in Metro New Orleans. We have had fantastic reductions in crime. Jeff Landry, Troop Nola, you got to give him credit. Proactive policing from the NOPD instead of reactive. But it's, you never rest on your laurels, especially with crime in New Orleans. You never cross the goal line. You keep hammering away at it. So the big four are easy. Not easy to solve, easy to talk about as a mayoral candidate. Economy, education, infrastructure, and crime. But then you have to come up with things that are unique to New Orleans exclusively. Like we are in so need of a new city hall. And you don't have to build one like the old one. Doesn't need to be 8, 10 stories. Doesn't need to be that many square feet. The opposite. A technology-driven city hall. A city hall for 2040 for the future. much smaller, downsizing, getting rid of city agencies, eliminating like a third or half of the entire New Orleans city workforce, the city hall workforce, like eliminating a bunch of these people, attrition, letting people go, whatever. So a new city hall, and you build it in Central City. Central City is literally right on the other side of the Pontchartrain Expressway from downtown. The new city hall would be like 8 blocks from the existing city hall. So you get a brand new city hall, you consolidate a bunch of city agencies, you eliminate a lot of employees, you go high on technology, you downsize it, it's much smaller, and you put it in Central City, giving that area a leg up, which is right next door to downtown. I know it's a brilliant idea. I'm with you. Trash and litter. Why does New Orleans have to be one of the filthiest cities, if not the filthiest in America? And a lot of you folks accept it. And you laugh when I go, we need to go from one of the filthiest to one of the cleanest. If we got it filthy, it's humans that did it. We can make it one of the cleanest. And I'll tell you what, does Orleans Parish, Jefferson, St. Tammany, could we use better, sanitation departments? Sure. But the real problem's the people. Black, white, old, young, gay, straight, male, female. I don't know if I should say gay. I don't know if I see homosexuals throwing trash. Maybe they are too. But everybody else I clearly see. I can't tell if someone's gay or straight unless it's just overt. But I can tell if someone's black, white, gay, straight. Heavy, short, Latino, Asian. I can tell all of that. No, and folks that have money, that don't have money. The amount of littering, it's obnoxious. It's sinful behavior. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Simply put, you weren't raised right. Mom and dad did a crappy job raising you. If you litter and you justify throwing crap out your car or just littering. You cigarette smokers are the worst. Cellophane wrapper on the ground, cigarette butts all the time, crumbling up the cart and throwing it on the ground. Pathetic. You cigarette smokers are some of the worst litterers around, like 90% of you. I don't give a crap you smoke. That's your problem. Just don't litter. So make New Orleans go from one of the filthiest cities to one of the cleanest. That would be one of my mayoral platforms. A clean city drives the economy. A filthy city runs people away. Retention ponds, planting trees. I call this, we be digging. There'd be signs everywhere. We be digging. Like a cartoon character with like a shovel. We be digging small holes, planting trees 24/7, 365. New Orleans sits atop the subtropic zone. Subtropics. We're in a marsh, in a wetland. We should be by default the greenest, lushest city in America. Instead, Atlanta has a 50% tree canopy. It's like 47%. Memphis has like a 38% tree canopy. Let's say 40%. We're at 18%. So just to round up, we're at 20%. Memphis has double the tree canopy we have, 40%. Atlanta, 2.5 times, 50% tree canopy. We're at 18%, 20%, whatever. Besides, we're in a hot area and trees do a great job of cooling the city, especially concrete jungles. Trees are tremendous flood mitigators. They absorb hundreds of gallons of water. A single oak tree, one oak tree, absorbs hundreds of gallons of rainwater, of potential flood water. So yeah, we be digging. We be digging small holes, planting trees everywhere all the time continuously. And we be digging large holes, retention ponds, water features. Sewage and Water Board can't keep up. Jefferson Parish, St. Tammany, St. Bernard, they've all discovered recently, if it rains a lot, we can't keep up either. Retention ponds, water features, that's the solution. No one talks about it.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Boy, it's a scorcher out there. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, it's easy. Total maintenance. That's all you have to think about, total maintenance. I don't know about you. I don't want to learn about air conditioning. I want someone I can trust. Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys, I've been trusting them for nearly 20 years. 20 years. Repair, replace, installation, service, whatever it might be. They're only going to do the work that's absolutely necessary. Only. So they're fair and honest. They're air conditioning experts. They're going to diagnose it right away. And speaking of right away, your AC's not working. They have a sense of urgency. They come right away. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, go with the pros at Total Maintenance. Just think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. TM-AC.com. That's Total Maintenance. They've been my guys for decades. If you need air conditioning help, I highly recommend Total Maintenance. No, Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys makes a big difference. 766 9480 is how you dial us up. Question, comment, critique. We take all comers. 766 9480. What would your mayoral platform look like? Economy, education, infrastructure, crime? No doubt. You got to focus on those big four. That's anywhere USA. Economy, education, infrastructure, and crime. But in New Orleans, trash and litter. No one talks about that. No mayoral candidate talks about how we have one of the filthiest cities in America. I'm going to clean it up. We're going to have pride again in New Orleans. No one talks about coastal erosion. Hell, Jeff Landry ran for governor, won the governor's seat, is in the mansion now for almost a year, and he's never, ever mentioned coastal erosion in Louisiana. The opposite. He canceled the Mid-Barataria $3 billion diversion project. We're $600 million into the $3 billion project. No, just ready, fire, aim. Cancel that because of a few dozen squeaky wheels. Seriously, a $3 billion project got canceled because 50 white men didn't like it. Seriously, about a dozen or two oystermen, a dozen or two fishermen in Plaquemine, and a dozen or two politicos and business folks that didn't like the diversion. About 50 white men down in Plaquemine with the stroke got a $3 billion project canceled. Unbelievable. What a mistake. No, I'm the New Orleans mayor. Coastal erosion is a major problem for New Orleans because we're the population center that gets most adversely affected by the flooding. Metro New Orleans. That includes Belle Chase, Plaquemine. That's all us. That's all Metro New Orleans. So for the governor just to be absentee on this major topic, I mean, he's now sending National Guard troops to D.C. He sent National Guard troops to Texas. Do you think D.C. or Texas is going to send National Guard troops to Grand Isle to push sand around and rocks and boulders with bulldozers to help secure our coast? This is all politics at its worst. The hard job, fixing our vanishing coastline. Jeff Landry ignores it and then sends our people to Texas and D.C. I don't know about you. Texas is a pretty rich state. They got a lot of money. They got a huge economy. They're growing. If anybody needs to help someone, it's Texas help Louisiana, not Louisiana help Texas. Ridiculous. Sending our National Guard. How'd you like to be in the National Guard in Louisiana? And the governor on a whim pulls you away from your job and your family and sends you to the Texas border to work to help them with their immigration, pulling out spools of barbed wire and doing whatever else, digging trenches. Pathetic. Or worse, sends you to D.C. to patrol the streets like a cop. Yeah, I got a job. I got a wife. I don't need to. Yeah, I'm in the National Guard. I need to get pulled into National Guard duty when it's legitimate, not some political nonsense. No, not a peep about coastal erosion, one of our biggest problems. But that's not a big political winner. People don't get excited. That's not bacon hitting a sizzling, a hot skillet and sizzling. That's nothing. But politically, sending the National Guard down to the border, sending the National Guard to D.C., we're helping Trump. That's political ammunition. Conservatives in Louisiana, just like loony liberals, what they want to believe, what they hope is true, they embrace this crap when it does nothing for us economically. Doesn't help our kids, doesn't put money in our pocket, does nothing for Louisiana. Does something for Jeff Landry getting reelected or something like that, but doesn't help us at all. No, coastal erosion, sinful. That legislative session, the governor, we never hear anything except cancellation of our biggest project, $3 billion. Terrible. Speaking of flooding and all of that, no mayoral candidates talking about this. Retention ponds, water features. Do they even know about the Wagoner and Ball, the engineering and architectural firm that over a decade ago did a multi-million-dollar study for Metro New Orleans? It includes St. Bernard and Jefferson Parish. It's the East Bank of Orleans, the metro area. It's all about water features and retention ponds, working with water instead of against it. Because we all can laugh at the Sewage and Water Board. Oh, wow, it flooded in New Orleans. Yeah, I remember a few months ago, veterans at Clearview underwater. You couldn't go get your little small cider that night. Flooded. St. Bernard, North Shore, flooding. We only can handle so much rain at a time. But if we had retention ponds and water features, think about a golf course, a good golf course. The expensive stuff where they've invested money, the tee boxes, the fairways, the sand traps, and the greens. On the sides of that are rough and water features. The good golf courses, they'll look at the Doppler. Hey, we got a storm coming in. We're going to get a few inches of rain tomorrow, the next day. They will literally lower the water table in all the ponds and water features on the golf course. When the rain comes, gravity pulls the water off the greens, off the fairways, out of the traps, off the tee boxes, and it naturally flows down and starts filling up the water features they lowered. If we had water features and retention ponds all over the city, anytime there was a major rain event, we would lower the water volume in there so they could fill them up. The Sewage and Water Board always talks about, it's kind of like common knowledge in New Orleans. The first hour, we can pump out an inch of rain. Every hour after that, it's a half inch. Instead of them pumping out water in neighborhoods, streets, protecting cars, businesses, and homes, they'd be pumping water out of these retention ponds, and the streets would be high and dry in the middle of a storm because all the water would naturally be flowing to the low-lying areas, working with water, using gravity, Mother Nature, natural. We have no retention ponds. Very, very few. I can name them, like by Suno, by Joe Bart Golf Course in the Pontchartrain Park neighborhood. On one side of the golf course, there's these beautiful linear retention ponds, probably 200-300 yards long by maybe 10-20 yards wide. They're beautiful. They drain the golf course. They keep the neighborhood dry. It's brilliant. And they look good. They're building one at Mirabeau, the Mirabeau Water Garden, right off St. Bernard and Mirabeau. But if you remember, ICE raided that site and pulled a bunch of migrant workers off the site. Hey, ICE, go to some private company. First off, any construction site, you're going to have a migrant worker there. You pick the one where they're trying to mitigate flooding in New Orleans. That's the site you pick, ICE? Nice. Unbelievable. So no, there just aren't many water features or retention ponds in Metro New Orleans, and we're going to keep flooding. And no one talks about it. It's mind-blowing to me. It really is. Mind-blowing. No, the trash and litter thing, never discussed. And we're a filthy city. The retention ponds, the water features, never discussed. And 10 years ago, Wagner and Ball did a multi-million-dollar study, and it's what we should be doing to protect ourselves. The tree canopy in New Orleans, less than 20%. We've lost 1/3 of all our trees in the last 20 years, and we're not replanting aggressively. We're in the middle of the top of the subtropic zone. We're in a marsh, wetland. We should be the lushest, greenest city in America. Memphis has twice the tree canopy in New Orleans. Twice the tree canopy. Atlanta, Georgia, with all its sprawl and concrete, has 2.5 times the tree canopy in New Orleans. That's just unacceptable, and no one's talking about it. Trees are flood mitigation. An oak tree absorbs hundreds of gallons of water, a single oak tree, hundreds of gallons of water it absorbs when it rains. Now, I call it we be digging. We be digging small holes, planting trees 24/7, 365. All we do in New Orleans is plant trees. And we be digging large holes, retention ponds, water features to mitigate flooding. It's all about mitigating flooding. I never hear any of these candidates, Helena Moreno, Royce Duplessis, Oliver Thomas, never mentioning we're a filthy city, let's clean it up. Never mentioning retention ponds or water features. Never mentioning the lack of trees. Never mentioning coastal erosion when we're the population center that's most adversely affected. Now, giving the port all they want. Every dollar we invest in the port, we get $5 back. Never hear that. Interstate loop. We got it all set up for an interstate loop. Never anyone talking about that. You increase commerce. People get places quicker, be able to spend more money. Good for the economy. I'm talking about a new city hall and in Central City. technologically advanced, like a future city hall for 2035, 2040. Many less city employees, many less agencies. Never hear this from anybody. Trim the fat, bring in the best and the brightest. In New Orleans, I mean, I'm an independent. It would be easy. I'd be surrounded with Republicans, Democrats, independents, libertarians. Helena Moreno, Oliver Thomas, Royce Duplessis, it should be part of their platform. My staff will be 25% conservative or Republican minimum, because we have such a void of conservative Republicans in New Orleans. It's all loony left liberals. That's it. No conservative voices. That's mandatory. Got to have some diversity.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters.
And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, your cool spot. TM-JC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. It's so true. So true. You know, trimming the fat, the next mayoral candidate. Do you hear any of that from any of these candidates? We're going to trim the fat at City Hall. We're going to lay off people. They'd never say that because they're worried about losing votes from city employees. Screw the city employees. The good ones will be around. The ones that, you know, insert thumb up rear end all day and do nothing, they're gone. No, when you build a new city hall in Central City, it can be a much smaller city hall because you're going to have a lot less agencies and departments and employees. It's going to be technologically advanced. Listen to this list. I think this is pretty complete. These are New Orleans departments: Bureau of Accounting, Assessor, City Attorney, City Planning Commission, Civil Service Commission, Code Enforcement, Office of Community Development, Coroner, Office of Criminal Justice Coordinator, Cultural Economy, Development Working Group of New Orleans, the DA, Economic Development, EMS, Department of Finance, Fire Department, Ground Transportation Bureau, Hazard Mitigation, Health Department, HDLC, Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, Office of Human Rights and Equity, Infotech and Information, Job One, Bureau of Treasury, Vucare Commission, Board of Liquidation, City Debt, Mosquito, Termite, and Rodent Control, New Orleans Recreation Development Commission, New Orleans Redevelopment Authority, One Stop Shop, Park and Parkways, Office of Performance and Accountability, NOPP, that must be PD, Office of Police Secondary Employment, Office of Procurement, Department of Property Management, Public Libraries, Department of Public Works, Real Estate and Records, Register of Voters, Office of Revenue, and Office of Resiliency and Sustainability, Bureau of Revenue, Department of Safety and Permits, Sanitation Department, Short-Term Rental, Office of Supplier Diversity, Traffic Court, Office of Transportation. Those are all the city departments. Now, just loosely, like Parks and Parkways, Mosquito, Termite, and Rodent Control probably can be consolidated. Office of Performance Accountability and Office of Resiliency and Sustainability, consolidated. Department of Safety and Permits could go with Code Enforcement. The Assessor could go with Real Estate and Records. Department of Finance could go with Office of Procurement, Office of Secondary Employment. Let's see, EMS and the Fire Department and Hazard Mitigation could all go together. HDLC and the Bureau of the Treasury and Department of Safety and Permits could all go together. I mean, this is just me roughly, loosely looking at all these city departments and seeing which ones could be consolidated. And boy, you're getting rid of, I mean, if there are 70 or so that I've listed, you're getting rid of a good 20 of them. So you're getting rid of about a third. And then you're getting rid of a third of those employees. And there are a bunch of other employees, attrition, forced retirement, what have you. No, when I talk about trimming the fat, I'm telling you how we can do it. Giving you the problem and the answer. It's easy to come up with the problems. It's hard to come up with viable solutions. 766-984-80. 766-984-80. Are you on the North Shore? You heading to the North Shore? You're on the Causeway? Fire in a to-go order at Trey Yen. Curbside delivery. Or better yet, dine in at Trey Yen. You South Shore folks, 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. It's Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Junket Cantrell. Federal court arraignment date is set 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today. Now, the number one thing for me, as far as justice and this mayor being treated properly at this arraignment, travel restrictions. Can't leave the Eastern District of Louisiana. It's a federal indictment. Now, the argument that the court's going to look at is she's the mayor of New Orleans. It's a mayor. You may have to do some travel. This mayor has done an obnoxious amount of travel, considering what the indictment's about. VAPI, 14 different trips, $70,000 plus in taxpayer money spent on these trips. No, Junket Cantrell needs to be grounded. And if there is some compelling case for I need to go to this, it benefits the city, then apply to the court for that, and they can approve it on a, case-by-case basis. But if the court allows Junket Cantrell to travel, I think that would be utterly obnoxious. 3 weeks from today is her arraignment. No, the big question is, in the next 3 weeks before the arraignment, getting indicted just last Friday, will Junket Cantrell lay low, or will she live up to her name and go on another junket? If you ask me, I'm not a betting man, but if you force me to pick, I would say before the arraignment on September 10th, within the next 3 weeks, this dopey mayor will go on yet another junket. If you force me to answer that question. Hey, French Quarter residents and businesses, put a big smile on your face. You already know, probably. You're already smiling. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans has overturned the lower court's ruling. The lower court's ruling said the city council has to sign off on the Henry Consulting trash contract for the quarter. The Fourth Circuit says, no, they don't. Ivy Waste will continue to clean the quarter in the CBD through December. And the 7-year, $73 million Henry Consulting trash contract is scuttled. It's history. It's gone. So great news. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals essentially, they ruled in favor of the council and against Henry Consulting. So Ivy Waste staying in the quarter through December, maybe longer. The Sewage and Water Board's $300 million power substation still offline. Was supposed to be rolling last month and last week. Hopefully we'll get Steve Nelson on tomorrow. We'll find out what's going on with the Sewage and Water Board. And a federal judge doing the right thing, the obvious thing, the constitutional thing. And I'm a believer in Jesus. I like the 10 Commandments. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic New Orleanian. A federal judge blocks Texas schools from enforcing or implementing the 10 Commandments law because it's unconstitutional. And I like the 10 Commandments and Jesus and my religion. That's Blue Boy. What, buddy? You like the 10 Commandments and Jesus too, but you're an American also, and it's unconstitutional to post that stuff on public school classroom walls. You're right, Blue Boy, as a dog. You're right on the money. It's unconstitutional. Good job, buddy. Thanks, Mario Bro, Latin X. Corey Johnson with you Thursday mañana.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.